Welcome back to Speechless. Today we're talking about Natalie Portman. Again. The story this week is about Portman's dancing in Black Swan. Sarah Lane is a dancer with the American Ballet Theatre and was Portman's dancing double in Black Swan. In a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly, Lane said only about 5% of the full body shots in the movie were actually Natalie Portman. The ballerina even criticized the dancing Portman did do in the movie, saying she can't move her body, she's very stiff. But Portman's choreographer and baby daddy, Benjamin Millepied, says that's not true. He said 85% of the movie is Portman and that the dance double only filled in for some of the more difficult moves. Lane said that she was told by producers not to talk to the press, and Entertainment Weekly reports that the film's distributors removed a video from YouTube showing how the digital replacement was used to put Portman's head on Lane's body. If Lane's story is verified, does this devalue Portman's performance in Black Swan and doesn't make her unworthy of her Oscar? Okay, guys, who's going to start this off?
I will, because oh my gosh, this makes me so angry. Okay, Natalie Portman is hired to be an actor, not to be a dancer. And while the character she's portraying is a dancer, you can't expect, if Josh Duhamel was hired to play Michael Phelps, do you think he's actually going to be able to compete all the races in as many seconds as Michael Phelps did? No. So why would you expect that of Natalie Portman?
I think that there's a big difference between that, especially with the way that the Academy works and how the process that they go through in order to evaluate an actor or an actress in order to even be nominated and considered for the most prestigious award that you can receive in this form of art. A big part of it is isn't it what they call method acting? Like what this guy from The Dark Knight did.
Yeah. Heath Ledger?
Heath Ledger, thank you, because I was drawing a blank. I couldn't remember, at least I remember, whatever, like what Heath Ledger used to do, that he would completely form into his character, even when he was offset, he was his character.
Yeah, method acting is not a prerequisite for winning an Oscar.
I understand that, but my point is, when you have to completely transform yourself into something that is so polarly opposite than what you are used to on a day-to-day basis, a big part of that is making your character a part of who you are.
Absolutely, but you can't be, just because you're not born with...
But she spent months training. I mean, Mark Wahlberg spent years. She danced years before she got involved. I mean, I saw something on E! when she was in Broadway camp at 16.
At 12 or 16.
Or 12 or
talking
16,
about
talking about this and how it was her dream to one day be in a movie and on Broadway singing and dancing at the same time. I mean, she clearly had this in her book. She clearly had this as a goal, and she accomplished it. Now, did she maybe do it to the best or to the ability that she thought she would be able to? Absolutely not, if she had to get a stunt double in. And I think that when you do spend so much time investing into this, you need to, it has to come from you. Why should she get an award for the work of someone else?
Her main purpose was not to be the best dancer she could be. If we wanted to see that, we'd all just go to the ballet. We would not be seeing Black Swan.
Vincent, you're awfully quiet over there. Okay, I feel like you have something
I feel like, this issue is not about the dancing at all. It's about the craft of the storytelling that was told. It was about this conflicted individual that sought perfection, and you saw that not in the dancing, but in the character development, And Natalie Portman was incredibly talented at that. She, I think, did it in a very efficient way. So why take away from that?
I think she's a fantastic actress. Closer was a wonderful movie, wonderfully made, wonderfully executed. She did a great job. She's done other stuff, and I totally back it. But for me, in the entertainment world, if you're going to do something, you do it all the way. We talk about Katy Perry and Britney Spears and how they're prepackaged and how, sort of their concepts for their concerts and their outfits and the dancing is all done by other people, and then they just produce it. And I think for her, she really needs to take on the full character, as Bianca put.
Whew, okay, I'm going to have to throw in the towel. That got heated again. It's time for our last commercial break, but we have a piece of my humble pie coming up, so stay tuned. You know what? I am happy that there is more to Donald Trump than just a good-looking tie and cufflinks that are worth more than my car. It's great to see this man care about this country enough to even consider running for the position that will eventually make him the most unpopular man in the world. Trump does a great job talking about the 1,000,001 things that are wrong with America, but the big question is, does he have the ability and political background to fix these problems? Okay, let's play a game and compare Trump to someone who also lacks and talks all political experience, Sarah Palin. Technically, she qualifies as a politician, having served as the governor of Snow, Daylight, and Bears, otherwise known as Alaska. So let's take Sarah Palin and minus the governor of Alaska experience, replace her hair with a perfect comb over and a chubby body, but let's leave her women parts because, Donald, we know what you're hiding. And now we have the Donald Trump version of Sarah Palin minus the political experience she ever had. Yeah, I don't think you should run Trump after all. I'm sorry, Donald, you're fired, and Sarah Palin, you're hired. Speaking of unqualified people running for office, SGA, what is wrong with you? You're falling apart. You have become like the fungus on my foot that no one wants to touch. You must be doing something wrong if 9 positions have no candidates in the running. I always knew the last person in charge practiced waterboarding to get SGA members to vote a certain way. Well, I guess the word got out about how much being an SGA sucks. But you know what else sucks? Going to school with people who don't care enough or are too afraid to run for student government positions. It looks like Natalie Portman should just run for an SGA position since that would be the only role that she could play without a body double. But even though her body double dancer is saying Portman only did 5% of the dancing in Black Swan, Portman still deserves that Oscar. Hollywood would be expecting way too much if an actor had to do their own dancing. That dancer double should be honored to have worked with Portman and not complaining that she didn't get the proper recognition she deserved. Natalie, next time you need a double, hit me up. I'm very talented when it comes to high diving, so let's make a movie about that. Then you could just sleep with my diving coach, have a bastard child with him, and then when I start complaining, you can just have him say that you did all the work. Well, that's it for my humble opinion. Hope you enjoyed a slice of the pie. Join us next week for another episode of Speechless.